Are you thinking of packing your bags and moving to Fayetteville, North Carolina? Before you do, here's some things that may change your mind. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of moving to Fayetteville. I'm going to talk about the crime. I'm going to talk about traffic. I'm going to talk about public transportation, location, weather, cost of living, and taxes, just to name a few things. If you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in Fayetteville, North Carolina, please reach out to me. The team and I would be happy to help you. So the first thing I'm going to address is going to be the crime in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Let's go ahead and address the big pink elephant in the room. Now, I know Fayetteville gets a bad reputation for the crime. Trust me, I lived there for 35 years, and I'm a retired Fayetteville police officer with over 20 years of service. Unfortunately, I've seen it all. I've seen the worst of people. I've seen the best of people. But I have to say, in my own personal opinion, that I don't think the crime is as bad as people portray it to be. Now, I'm not by any means, I'm not saying we don't have crime here. Of course, we have crime here. I've lived there for over 35 years. I've been married for over 20 years. Me and my wife, Stephanie, have raised our family here, and we have never seen too much of a problem in our opinion. My mom lives here. She lives by herself. She's in her 70s. Stephanie's parents live here also. Her siblings live here also. And we've never seen anything too crazy that I would think I consider bad as crime. Now, by any means, I'm not saying we don't have crime or that I'm trying to steer you, because as a real estate agent, I'm not allowed to talk about that. But I will provide you some data through Neighborhood Scouts here in a few minutes, just to show you the crime rate. And this is Neighborhood Scouts website I use a lot. You can definitely, I'll put a link of it down in the description below for you guys to check out. But just to give you a little analysis of Fayetteville. So Fayetteville is ranked number 6 out of 100 safest cities, 100 being the best or safest. And we're number 6. So that really tells you right there, we definitely have some crime here. Not gonna lie about that at all. This is the data. So you look at violent crimes annually for this year. So we're looking at 2,027. Property crimes, 6,094. Total of 8,121. Crime rate per residence. So 9.71, 29.119. Total of 3819. And if you look at violent crime compared to the national average, compared to North Carolina, obviously the numbers don't lie. 9.71, and for North Carolina as a state, 4.3. So just over double of what that average is. Chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime is 1 in 3 in 103 in Fayetteville, 1 in 232 for the state. Reported murders was 47, 81 rapes, 242 robberies, rates per 1,000. Go to property crimes, not as bad as the violent crimes, and of course, our violent crimes are more serious crime, obviously, because it's violent. But it is, we're at 291.19 compared to the national average of 22.4. A little higher, obviously, but not as bad as the violent crime that's here. And if you look at the chance of becoming a victim of heart crime, 1 in 34. And North Carolina's 1 in 45. So pretty close there. These some other stats you can look at, obviously. Federal crime rate per square footage. And you can think about Neighborhood Scout also. If you want to, say you want to move to, think of an address, my old address, 1690 Montrose Drive. I just sold this house a few months ago. So type in Neighborhood Scouts, go right here, and here's my old house. And it'll break it down, neighborhood and everything like that, of crime-wise, of what you're looking at. So you can go to right here to crime. It's right there. Overview, real estate, stuff like that you want to look at. And we are near Raleigh. So I'm going to type Raleigh, North Carolina. That's the capital of North Carolina. And just to show you the crime rate here also. So go to crime. It's ranked 13. And remember, Fayetteville was a 6. So 100 being the safest, ranked 13. Obviously better than Fayetteville, but we're not that far away from Raleigh. Crime rate here, per 1,000, things like that. So just want to compare those two for you. Next thing I talk about is going to be the weather. Now, the weather here is fantastic. Now, we do have some humidity here during the summertime from about June, maybe the end of May till about August time frame. It does get very humid here, but we do have all 4 seasons. So that's what I love about North Carolina and Fayetteville. Spring and fall is very lovely here, and the winter does not get too cold here. Maybe I've seen it get as low as 30 degrees. So definitely not too cold to where, you're seeing snow and things like that, but cold enough to where at least it kills all the bugs. So definitely if you want to head to the mountains, you're going to have great weather. If you want to head to the beach, also fantastic weather. So the next thing I talk about is going to be a con, and that's going to be the bugs. Now, unfortunately, with this great weather, it does get hot and humid here, and the bugs come out. We've got mosquitoes, gnats, ants, just everything you think of comes out when it's hot. If you decide to go out for a walk or a run or something like that, or just even stepping out because you have to step outside, that you're going to encounter these. You're going to be slapping yourself all over the face, all over the legs, everything like that. It's not the best, but unfortunately, it does come with living in North Carolina. Me personally, lived here for 35 years. I'm getting kind of used to it to a certain degree, but definitely get some off spray with DEET in it. So to keep the bugs off of you, you're not slapping yourself silly with all these bugs and gnats. The next thing I talk about is going to be a pro, which is the taxes in North Carolina. Now, North Carolina is ranked number 20, according to WallaHub, as one of the states with the lowest amount of taxes. Alaska being number 1, which is the lowest, and New York being the highest. Now, North Carolina does have a flat rate tax of 4.75%. They also have a 2.5%. They also have a 4.75% state tax, and they also have a max local tax of 2.75%. If you combine that together, it comes to 6.99%. Now, the national average for property taxes is 1.07%. Now, North Carolina has an average property tax of 0.77, which is a lot lower than the national average. The Tax Foundation also ranks North Carolina as number 30 for the lowest property taxes. Also, if you are a veteran and you are 100% disabled, you will qualify for a tax exemption of $45,000 off your taxes. This tax exemption also follows your living spouse. So, for example, let's say your house is worth $300,000. You will get a tax break of $45,000 off the price of your home. If you want to know more about veteran benefits, please check out this video right up here in the corner. Thinking of relocating to the Fayetteville or surrounding areas? Well, I got just the thing for you. The team that I'm on and I have just created the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours and hours of time, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it down below. And the best part is this guide is 100% free. Yes, you heard me right, free. Just click on the link below in the description or the top pinned comment, and I hope this guide helps you a lot. Next thing I talk about is going to be the allergies in North Carolina. Now, this doesn't affect me too much. Maybe my body's immune to it after living here for so long, but my wife, my son, they definitely get the allergies real bad. My son's on medicine to control his allergies. He's allergic to grass. I really think he's allergic to grass because he doesn't want to cut it, but that's another story in itself. So definitely, if you have a lot of bad allergies wherever you're at now, before you move here, you may want to check it out. Make sure you can definitely tolerate it, because last thing you want to do is move here, especially to North Carolina or Fayetteville or North Carolina in general, and find out that it's just too much to handle for you. Now, another pro in Fayetteville, North Carolina is going to be the traffic. Now, I'm not saying we don't get rush hour traffic. First things in the morning, we are next to Fort Liberty, largest military base on the East Coast. So we do get some traffic, but I would have to say it's not as bad as the big cities like New York, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. And now they just built 295, which makes it even easier to connect with Fort Liberty, City, Hope Mills, the north side of Fayetteville, Stedman, Eastover areas, even Raeford. So definitely you won't see a lot of bad traffic here, in my opinion. Depends on where you're coming from. You may think something different, but definitely compared to bigger cities, traffic here is fantastic. Now we do have a lot of road construction, unfortunately, but you know, that's another video for another time. Another thing to talk about is going to be Fayetteville, and I get a lot of people telling me it's boring here, there's nothing to do here, and I have to admit that there's not a lot to do here in Fayetteville. Of course, we do have movie theaters, restaurants, they do have some events downtown. We have a new minor league baseball team, the Fayetteville Woodpeckers, so definitely you can catch a game, and downtown is not a big area, big Fayetteville downtown area, but compared to most cities, but we do have a lot of restaurants and breweries, and every time I turn around, they're building another brewery, or they just built a new rooftop restaurant, and they're also going to build a new Fayetteville event center downtown. Depending when you watch this video, it should be completed by 2025 because the old event center has to shut down by Halloween of 2025. So that's very exciting. You know, we're getting something new downtown, but you know, Fayetteville's not a big city. If you're looking to move to North Carolina, you're gonna wanna move to either Raleigh or Charlotte or Durham if you're used to that big city feel, or that's something that you like. Everything in Fayetteville probably shuts down by, I'd say, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Bars do stay open until 2 o'clock in the morning, and of course on Sundays, you can't buy alcohol until after 12 p.m. But you know, a lot of people say, like I said, they say it's boring here, not a lot of things to do. I have to agree, but I guess I'm used to it. I've lived there for 35 years. Not that I go out a lot anyway, but if you do go out a lot, some things are building up. Every time I turn around, like I said, they are getting new things, new bars, new places that open up for entertainment wise. And the next thing I talk about is going to be Fayetteville is just a friendly area. Now, we are not in the South as like below South Carolina or in South Carolina, but you do get that Southern hospitality here. Every time I'm out driving, walking, or running in a neighborhood, especially being a real estate agent, a lot of people are always waving at me. Don't know who I am, but they're just waving. I wave back, and you know, it's just a friendly place. People still here are opening doors for people, have great manners. Yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. So definitely, it's a friendly place. Next thing I talk about is going to be the cost of living, which is definitely a pro. As I mentioned earlier, our taxes are very low here, and the affordability of a house compared to other states are fantastic. Now, our median price range here in Fayetteville is between $250 and $280 at the time of this video. So you're looking, and with that, you're looking at getting 3 to 4 bedroom home, typically about 1,800 square feet to up to about 2,000 to 2,200 square feet. Now, of course, if you always heard it, location is the best. So if you're looking for something in the middle of Fayetteville, it's probably going to be a little more expensive tax-wise and house-wise compared to out in a rural area or out in one of the suburbs like Raeford, Hope Mills, or Spring Lake. And currently our gas prices here at the time of this video are around $3.16 a gallon, so that's pretty good. It's probably going to go back up, it's going to go up and go down like it has for every other state, but pretty low compared to places like California. I think they're up like $5 or $6 a gallon. Groceries, utilities, and eating out is relatively low compared to other states. Definitely, if you want to know more about the cost of living and utility wise, check out this video right here where I did about the cost of living here in Fayetteville. Next thing I talk about is going to be public transportation. Now, if you're moving to Fayetteville, we're not a big city. We don't have a subway here. We don't have a lot of public transportation. Now, we do have taxis. Of course, you've got your Ubers and your Lyfts and things like that. But Fayetteville's not a city where you can, except maybe the downtown area where you can walk from one part of the town to the next part of town. Like I said, we do have a bus system here, but it's not the best. And what I mean by that is, you know, it's going to be at the bus stop every maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. So definitely if you have to be at work and you're depending on the bus system, you're going to have to get up early and get home very late just because it doesn't move around that quickly, like every 20, 30 minutes. It's more like every hour, hour and a half. Definitely you can get a bike here, a moped or a scooter and get around town without much issue. Just be careful, of course, with traffic and riding, things like that, because you know a lot of people are not paying attention. Texting, driving, talking, things like that. And the next thing I'll talk about is just the location of Fayetteville. What I mean by that is we're only about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from the beach, depending on what beach you want to go to. Typically, most people go to Wilmington, which is about an hour 30 minutes, hour 45 minutes away. If you want to go to Myrtle Beach, where I go to Myrtle Beach a lot, which is in South Carolina, it's about a 2 hour drive. If you're looking to go to the mountains, you're probably looking about 4 hour drive to Boone or Asheville, but these are only a drive away. So it's a great location to where you're not, if you want to be near that close to the beach, but close enough to where you can get there in a day, no problem. Stay there for the weekend. And also I consider the mountains 4-hour drive, a little longer, and definitely, driving to the mountains a little longer 4-hour drive, but definitely take the back roads and check out the scenery and just, take a look at, nature in North Carolina. If you enjoyed this video, please check out this video right here. It's a video YouTube recommends for you. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, please reach out to me. Love to help you. See you guys in the next video.